Welcome to Absolutely PlayStation and Steam Gamers. My name's Ben.
You forgot.
What? What I forget?
You forgot for a second.
I did not. I've done too many podcasts today. My name's Benny. That is Houston, and that is Shank.
Hello.
Today we're going to be doing our generic podcast where we just talk about fun things that we found interesting, little tidbits of news, and the games we've been playing. And Houston, you've been away for a while, so why don't you go first?
Why don't I go first? Well, God.
You have the most games, I can tell you that right now. I have Sea of Thieves Adventures that is going to blow your mind. And guess what, guys? Shank played Destiny.
No.
I don't believe you.
No.
He's going to surprise us. He's going to surprise us.
Well, we'll see. But how is Mario Golf, Houston?
It's a game.
It's not fun.
So it's not fun. I enjoy it to an extent. I got through the first world, no problem. I'm like, all right, this is a nice, sweet golf game. We get to the second zone, and they're like, all right, now we're doing extreme golf. You got to hit it into a tornado to get it up to a new platform to then be able to hit it here. Also, there's 9 holes. You got to get in 40 strokes, get the ball into each hole at least once. And I was just like, I just want to play golf. I bought a golf game, not an extreme sports golf game.
No, it's like a mini golf game. That's like super mini golf.
It's not. It is, and I'm just like, I just wanted to play golf. Making me go through a sweet campaign.
Don't they have like a PGA Tour game?
They do, but I wanted to be with the Mario characters.
I was going to say,
You didn't expect wackiness with the Mario characters?
I did, but not to that extreme where it's like, all right, here we go.
The big problem that I had with the Mario Adventure, so you have the normal golfing if you just want to play with your friends.
Yeah.
But the Mario Adventure just was boring. Like the RPG adventure for golf. And Huey and I were kind of excited because we like RPGs and we like golfing. So it's a great combo. It was just so boring. Like it spent like 20 minutes in the opening just talking and talking and talking. And it wasn't like interesting plot. It wasn't like Bowser's challenging you to a duel and you need to go. No, it was like, welcome to the resort.
You're a rookie.
Yeah, you're a rookie, so welcome to the resort. How about you walk down into the town? Let us show you where the coach is at, and over here's the bar.
Also,
you're
a rookie with Boo, Toadette, and Chargin' Chuck.
As your friends. Yeah.
Those are your buddies.
Yeah.
What did you guys expect, though? Like, this seems like a case of mismanaged expectations.
Well, on top of
honestly.
that, though, instead of just giving us straight golfing, you have to like chase your ball and stuff like that. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It's like they took out all the fun just to be like, all right, so we're just going to do golf. But with none of the fun elements of golf. And I know golf's not the most fun thing for a lot of people, Shank, but when me and Huey go golfing.
Huey just said what he wanted was just a regular golf game.
That's what
You're saying that's what you got.
No,
you're saying you wanted.
As Tiger Woods, you don't pick up and go, all right, well, let's start walking to the ball there, guys. Let's go.
Yes, you do, but that's different.
He does.
No, in real life. Don't give me the boring elements of golf in the real life. When Huey and I go golfing and I hit the ball, I don't go, man, this is my favorite part of golfing, Huey, walking across the course.
Here we go, special dash.
It's just, it feels like instead of just making a golf game, they added in way too much unnecessary things to the point of making it unfun.
And I'm only in World 2. Who knows what they added in the farther worlds?
You better beat it. We need a full review now.
I'm going to beat it. I bought it. I'm going to beat it.
I already deleted it, so you got to beat it.
I saw a video over the weekend. I guess the physics is really wonky. Somebody almost got a hole-in-one, and it traced the ball, and the ball went around the cup and started spinning. It spun like 17 times and then just stopped, like complete inertia, like stop.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm just.
Yep.
It doesn't sound like a fun game. It sounds.
Me, I might just be bad, but
no, all of the internet
like
is blowing up on that game. Everyone's like, it's just boring.
The RNG of your shot just doesn't make sense. Like, I'll do the same exact thing, and the ball will either go woo straight or woo And I
So it's
didn't do
like
anything
real
different.
golf. Real golf.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything different this time. I pressed the button the same way.
Did you play anything else other than the golf game that the internet's lambasting right now?
Normal app games. Got Blaze and Arc Knights on the new banner.
I already had Blaze on Arc Knights.
I know you did.
So
And then I realized, why did I pull for Blaze? I had no need for another guard. But I got her.
she has a chainsaw. Chainsaws are always good, right, Shank?
I love chainsaws.
Yeah.
Chainsaws are fun in games.
I think
chainsaws and hammers.
I think in real life we should all meet up and throw chainsaws.
I mean, I'm down for throwing
Throwing axes is fun.
No,
I love
chainsaws,
throwing
not
axes.
an axe. Not an axe. Chainsaws.
Yeah, but axes. I'm absolutely down for axe throwing. Come on.
All right.
Since I've been on the podcast, because I haven't talked about it yet, I have finally beat Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh yeah, you were doing the PS5
Yep.
remaster of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did the PS5 remaster, and now I just want the next one.
So you didn't beat it when it came out, like last
No.
summer or whatever? Okay, well let's talk about that for a bit. What do you think of what do you think of that ending, man?
I mean, it left it open for literally anything they want to do now.
It could also end there, and they would have been.
It could.
We all would have been
Be
like, "Well, that's
all right,
sad," but
here
And
we
it would've
go.
been
We're
fine.
off.
Ugh.
Which I guess makes it a good standalone, and it'll make it a good part of.
Did you do
trilogy.
the Yuffie DLC yet?
I have not done the Yuffie DLC yet.
The Yuffie DLC, I could tell you what happens because it doesn't spoil anything. Like it's one of
I didn't
those.
think it
situations.
would. It looked like just an add-on to get people to buy the next version, the PS5 version of the game.
After you beat the Yuffie DLC, it awkwardly spends another 5 to 10 minutes of Cloud and the gang walking. I'm not even, it goes back to them and it shows us how they get to Calm, that first town.
Yep.
And it's literally just like, first they try hitchhiking, then they walk a little bit and Barrett yells. Then Cloud asks if they're going to get a ride. Then they get a ride. Then they ride on the ride. And then they get to the town. And I'm like, why was this added?
Setting up the second game, I guess.
Yeah. But what they do show, and just to clarify for you the ending there, the only thing they show is the Zack thing is what we all assumed it was. He is in the proper timeline.
Like,
They give
Not
us
sure how I feel about
confirmation on that. Because you're left to that cliffhanger of like, what does this mean, right? Is he in the real world? Is he in an alternate? He goes to the church looking for Aerith.
But it's got to be an alternate version, right?
No, he's there. As the plane has fallen in the main storyline and he shows up and they're all sad. They're establishing he is in the proper timeline.
Right. That's
So
not what I
at
mean.
the-
I mean, this has to be like an alternate version in this reality, right?
No, I don't think so.
Does any of Aerith's story make sense if you don't?
No, I think that's part of our problem we're running into now, though. But they're establishing Zack is here. So it's not
So-
like we all thought it might be where it just kind of altered some things.
but they literally pass each other in alternate universe like this.
Right, which is why we were all wondering, what does this mean? But he's there. He shows up looking for her in the church. And they establish the church is reeling from the effects of the fallen plate. Like, they're like, no, this is...
Is Cloud there?
No one's there. He doesn't find them.
Well, no, that's the thing. He's carrying Cloud at the end.
I think that is showing... I think that's like... What I think they're doing is going, okay, when Zack survived, he carried Cloud to the town, and then he did something else. And now he went to look for Aerith, and so they're like, now he's looking for Aerith, and she just left with Cloud in the gang.
Okay.
Like there's no spoilers because it doesn't do anything, like no reveal, he doesn't find Aerith, nothing happens. It just basically sets up like, Zack is here. What does that mean for the bigger picture? Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, but let that speculation start. That's basically what it sounds like, you know?
I think somebody else is going to die this time around.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Possibly.
thinking. Yeah, I think no. My theory right now is that someone else is. They're not going to kill anyone outright. Maybe Zack or somebody, but there will be a second time, and Aerith has to die. They're going to do something that she has to die to correct something. So
So they get past that point in the story, she survives, and then they go through the story a bit and they realize they messed something up along the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. That's my theory, is that they're because it's way too expected for her to die there.
See, I'm leaning towards that interpretation where it's basically Aerith and Sephiroth are constants in this basically multiverse of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And things have to go a certain way. Like, she has to die because she has to enter the life stream. Otherwise, she's not able to assist Cloud and his gang through all their adventures.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think they're probably going to kill her closer to the actual end of the game, so Aerith is with the group for the whole time. But my theory right now is that we're going to get to the death. She's going to survive it somehow. Probably Zack. That's going to be the big change. Zack is around, so they're able to prevent this death from happening. And then we're going to probably see the world itself falling apart because, like you said, they're constants. It has to happen. And now they're breaking the timeline, like actually breaking it, not just...
So, quick lore recap. Zack died prior to Cloud like getting the Buster Sword and taking his identity and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
And he dated Aerith.
Yeah.
I thought part of the reason Aerith, like a part of Aerith's like core character foundation was the fact that she had lost Zack.
Right, and she could see Zack in Cloud, and a lot of his stuff was lining up with Zack, so she was curious.
Well, she mentions it in
Yeah, she's still doing that.
remake. Like, she's like, I dated a soldier once and stuff like that.
It looks like right now, like even if Zack survived, that he just hasn't been around for whatever the reason. Everyone assumes he died.
I'm really hoping you're wrong and that it's not that he survived, it's that when they did the whole final battle with Sephiroth and Fate, it basically caused a alternate version of Zack to be present like in this universe. So then she's going to have to deal with the fact that Zack is alive but still has the history of him having him died. Like basically it's a different Zack and she has to come to terms
She's
with
got
that.
both memories basically now.
Maybe.
Right. Like she has to come to terms with like the man I love is back, but this isn't the man that I spent my time with. You know what I mean?
We'll see. All they did was confirm he is back in this timeline and is now looking for Aerith. So
Also,
that's all we got. Like it wasn't like that was like, and now Zack walked out and went, "Well, here's my motivations, everyone."
I know. I'm just
going
speculating.
to monologue.
Listen, I'm just
No,
speculating
I know.
wildly with what I hope to see come out of all this.
I agree with that. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying like all they did was I think they just threw the. I just don't know why we had all the scenes of them driving down the road. Like it was kind of pointless. Like it ends like Yuffie ends with everything that happens in Yuffie happens. I'm like that's the spoilers. I'm not going to spoil that.
Yeah.
And it ends with her riding off on a chocobo. Like the game ends, and then we go to the after credit scene, and it's Yuffie on a chocobo setting up how she meets up with everyone. You know what I mean?
She's going to be in a different forest, and you got to go find her.
Well, she's practicing the lines that she introduces herself with. I'm Yuffie, whatever. You know what I mean? Like she's practicing the lines, setting up that she's going to meet up with the team, and then it cuts to the team on the road, and like I'm sitting there like, oh, are they just going to cut scene meeting up with Yuffie, and the next game will start up with that? No, it was just like 5 minutes of them on the road, just walking.
I have a feeling this entire little expansion was just to set up 2, whatever they end up calling Remake 2, so that they can just hit the ground run and start telling the story. You don't have to know like how Yuffie works because you played as her in her own little expansion. It has an explanation for why they're all in the next town. Like it's just kind of like basically setting up the chessboard so that you can just start playing as soon as the new expansion comes out.
Well, I better get Red 13.
Yeah.
That was my biggest disappointment. When he joins the party, he doesn't really join the party.
I feel like
he joined really late in the story.
That's
though.
why. Yeah, it was
he
like
did,
you would have
but
gotten.
he was a major part of the final boss fight with Fate.
Well, right, but the point is that game mechanics wise, he joined so late into the story.
I just wanted to play as him.
It'll make more sense for him to be a playable character next time around.
Did you do anything else, Huey, other than come to the conclusion of that finally?
No, that's pretty much it. I just mostly played app games. I beat Dark Dimension 2 and Strike Force.
Congratulations. I have yet to fight Dark Dimension 1.
That's pretty much it. I mostly just played Strike Force, Mario Golf, and War of the Visions.
What about you, Shank, before I go into my monologue of Sea of Thieves and why it's so much better now?
So yet again, I had a very Bungie heavy week,
Oh, convenient.
but it wasn't Destiny. I started playing Halo Reach, and I finished playing Halo Reach all in about a week. So
Yeah, I mean, they're not long games.
not even a
so-
whole week. Yeah, they're really not long games. I'm almost halfway through Halo 1 as well.
Yeah.
But I can see why Halo Reach is a lot of people's favorite game. But I don't feel like it had this. It hit home the same way just because I played it first. So I mean, halfway through you kind of get what's happening. Okay, everybody's starting to sacrifice themselves. The one thing that took me a little bit longer was that I thought Noble 6 was an origin story for Master Chief.
A lot of people did. It
Personally.
was one of the complaints.
So when he died at the end, spoilers.
Wow.
Spoilers for 2010. When he died at the end, I mean, I liked how they did it. I liked that you could just keep fighting, like, as long as you were able to stay alive. That was a pretty cool way to end the game. But, I don't know. I was hoping that I was setting up the character I was going to be playing, and instead, I just feel like we're resetting. The transition from Reach to 1 isn't as smooth as I was hoping it was going to be.
Well,
Because-
I mean, Reach came out last. Reach was just a prologue.
Right, so they had the entire story set up and they could make it, okay, so here was my issue. I started playing 1, and first off, they just got Master Chief in a cryopod. They don't
Yep.
explain that at all. What's up with the cryopods? Why is he in the cryopod on, what is it, the Pillar of Autumn? And he goes up to the command deck, and the commander is talking with Cortana. And it's like they're best friends, and they've been working together for years, where at most this could only be like a week or two later, right?
It's supposed to be, yeah. Because, I mean, if you got to the ending where they showed Master Chief in the cryopod in the Reach ship, that was what they were trying to get off the planet. Right. No.
Okay, so then I missed them getting Master Chief in the cryopod.
You might
off
only
the
get
ship.
that cutscene if you beat it on Legendary. So, what happens is, I forget how you get the extra
Okay.
cutscene. The ship that they're all rushing to at the end of Reach, it's revealed that Master Chief is on that ship, and they were getting Cortana to him. So,
Okay.
I think you have to beat it on a
more
Legendary.
sense.
Yeah, that's the linking. Like, oh, we got Master Chief off the planet. Now we die.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
Let me see how you get that. Halo Reach Master Chief.
But then the other thing is they make like Cortana seem like this ancient weapon, or at least an AI capable of finding this ancient weapon, which I assume she is. It's just when you get into Halo 1, it just seemed, I don't know, there seemed to be a disconnect. It's like she's an AI that they've been using for years. And like they have like all this like history. So, I mean, I might be missing something because like I said, I'm just now starting the story. So there could be things I'm just missing plot-wise, not even lore-wise.
No,
There's a lot of books too.
Yeah, there's a lot of books that fills in the gaps, but no, it's an Easter egg. It's not an unlockable. When the Pillar of Autumn is taking off, you have to look in it. You would have seen Master Chief in there.
Okay.
I guess you could
So I
have
would've-
moved. You had to move your right thumbstick to the right and hold it there. You want to push on it and hold it throughout the entire cutscene. Eventually, Captain Key's Pelican touches down inside the Pillar of Autumn, and the camera will shift to the right and show you that Master Chief is there, taking off. He's in the
Okay.
cryopod at that moment.
Okay, so it wasn't a cutscene I missed.
No.
It was an Easter egg I didn't know to look for.
Yeah,
Okay.
That seems kind of dumb.
that was how they did it.
Yeah.
If
If that's how they're supposed to link the two games, it's like, oh, you had to look to the right the whole time. during
I'm
the
going
end.
to apologize to our viewers because I'm recording it and accidentally clicked Black Desert Online's launcher and it popped up at everyone's face. There's no way Dylan will be able to edit that out. So
Absolutely no way. Beyond his capabilities.
unless he's going to do like freeze frame all of us for like a moment as it goes through it. I don't know. But it does directly link, but I don't know. You're right. Reach had a lot of complaints in the community because so the book for Reach came out and told one story, and then the game for Reach came out and retconned a bunch of stuff. And that was a lot of people's complaints.
What are the differences? Or is it a spoiler for me?
No, it wouldn't be a spoiler.
Because, I mean, it seems like a pretty straightforward story. The invasion of the Covenant onto Reach, and Noble Team sacrificing themselves to get Cortana off of Reach so that they can find the Halo.
One story is about Master Chief's part on Reach's orbit, while the other story is about a team of Spartans struggling to fight a losing battle. Both are canon, with the time lapse that the Master Chief arrived to the fight later, whereas Noble Team fought in it since it started. So they're loosely able to be linked together, but from what I can't find the list, but there was a list of things that it retconned out and changed.
Huh.
So.
Well, I enjoyed it.
I mean, Reach is actually one of my favorite Halos. Like, I like 1, 2, and 3, but Reach for me just had a lot of my best memories of playing with buddies and doing the multiplayer and things like that. So, Reach is my favorite.
I don't know. I'm struggling with one a little bit.
It's really old.
It's 20 years old, and you can tell there's no waypoint markers, there's no objectives, there's no like. There is a waypoint marker, but it's not always up. It's only up.
All the stuff that made easy mode for you. You're telling us you're a casual.
Yes. The first time going through a game, I'm being very casual about it.
This coming from
We
the guy
had
who's
this conversation last week
I
about.
was going to say this coming from the guy who's playing Ratchet and Clank on easy, but whatever.
I don't see a point of playing on harder difficulties anymore, personally.
No,
I don't even get a freaking Master Chief cutscene. Jesus.
You missed the actual discussion of that last week. We were discussing how at this point, like, I don't care about the super hard difficulties. I just want to play the game and enjoy myself. Like, we were talking about how me and Shank are avoiding games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring at this point because it's like, unless the game is straight up difficult for a reason, I don't care anymore. I don't want to get frustrated and irritated. So
I respect it.
What else besides that? I did play some Destiny.
I was going to say, you went on
Grandmasters
vacation.
Came out. Yeah, I went on vacation for 4 days.
Yeah. I looked at Grandmasters. I started up a Grandmaster just randomly, and I was just like, I don't want to do this. Which goes back to our discussion about difficulty, because it's not even a good carrot on the stick for Grandmasters. It's there if you want to do it, and while I do find it to be the most fun content in the game, I don't want to butt my head against it for 2 hours. Like that's what it comes down to.
I get a little 2 next to my name, and a weapon that is slightly better than the other weapon. I mean,
they could do a lot more to make that more worth doing. But I mean, that's a discussion for a whole other day.
I think so.
Grandmasters is like the hardest difficulty in the game to basically do anything with. So,
yeah. And then the final week of the story came out, so I'll do a little story recap sometime this week, or next week for you guys. But overall, I'm satisfied with the story. The issue is that the epilogue, so the actual ending of the story and the ability to get the Triumph Seal and all that stuff is locked. It's time gated at this point, so now
you're waiting.
Now I have time to play other games. Oh, and I got Eyes of Tomorrow. Finally.
Congratulations. So, I've had that for like a year.
Took 71 clears before I got that gun.
Good old RNG.
And you're going to throw it in your vault and never use it.
Yes, I am.
I was like, it's not even good.
I don't even think it made it to my vault. I think it went to the postmaster and has already been bumped out of my postmaster. So,
but you can call it back if you want it. Anyway, so my week has been mostly app games because we've had a crazy week of taking care of the cat. But I did manage to start up the Sea of Thieves Season 3 story mode. And let me tell you, it's what we wanted in Sea of Thieves as people who wanted more PvE. Look, okay, so Sea of Thieves, for people who don't know, is a game who came out with the idea of the fun is with your friends and the other people. And the concept basically was you go to an island, you grab a quest from one of three people, which was kill things, get chests, or I don't remember what the other one was. That's all I ever did. Kill things and get chests. You sail from point A to point B. You find players, you mess with other players, they mess with you, you get your loot, you come back, you turn it in, rinse and repeat. And most of the fun would come out of stupid things, like a friend blowing up the mast, or Shank jumping off the boat randomly, or all of us getting drunk and puking on each other. And it made for some great co-op adventures.
Good times.
But we never did any of the PvE content. And the issue that I've always had with that game is for a game that it was a weird game because they always said it was like, oh, well, you know, you got to watch out for the other pirates. But you never ran into the other pirates. Like, I know, like, and this has been my experience, and I have a lot of hours to Sea of Thieves at this point, okay? Like, I played it on Xbox, I played it on Steam. But I can count on, like, one hand the amount of encounters we ended up having with other players. For a game that was all about go try and get loot and fight other players. Like, and it was funny because they came out with it becoming more PvE focused with more PvE focused content. And the PvPers got super mad. Like, oh, where's my fun? I want to troll people. And then they made an arena. So if you really want to fight other players, you can just go fight it out there. And the PvPers are freaking out like, oh, I want to troll people. But me and the three people I've been playing with the last week have had so much fun with this new content because you get in there and there's multiple enemies to fight now, multiple sea monsters and crazy things, multiple stuff happening on the map from world events to questing to sailing around. We've run into one other person in like a week of playing and they were just fishing. We just sailed by them. There were some French people. I had open mic on. I could hear them and they were just like, blah, blah, da, 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 fish, fish, fish. That's all they were doing. So
You didn't grief him?
No, because at this point we were like, oh, we're going off on our own mission. So the Pirates Life DLC, which is what I adjusted a lot of this. First off, a lot of the old content's still there. So all the original stuff's still out there. But there's also other things to go fight and bosses and PvE events to participate in. But now Davy Jones and his little crab monsters will just pop up out of the water randomly. So we're just going along, land on an island, and there's all the crazy Davy Jones monsters. And it's like, shoot them, they're going crazy. On top of that, there's now sirens in the water, which makes for some very unnerving moments where we're like in the middle of the night, we're sailing past an island, somebody sees the glint of treasure. And I'm like, hold on, guys, I'll get it. And I jump in the water, and all you hear is the siren song. And then you're like, get me out of the water, get me out of the water, there's something in here.
Dude,
I hear them.
That sounds awesome because it always felt like there was something missing from Sea of Thieves. Like just the fun and the mechanics of the game were there, but like I guess there just wasn't
no
enough
real purpose.
Right.
Yeah. The purpose was
like
sail out, get the loot, and come back. And it was like, okay. Like you really only purpose was to grief other players. And that was always what turned us off about the game because we would play for a little bit, have fun, and then go, well, what do you guys want to do now? You want to find other players and grief them? Because that's all there is to do. Like
it's probably going to end up getting the No Man's Sky treatment where it like 2 or 3 years after it's released, it's going to have all the updates it needs to be a full and complete game.
Well, now we're on season 3, and every season has come out with a story segment, and we never got around to doing the first 2. There's the original one, there's the merchant storyline, but now we have the Pirate's Life. The first chapter took us about 2 hours, maybe 3, because we didn't look up any guides and we were guessing it. And the way it works is you activate it and it moves you off of the Sea of Thieves Island and moves you into the Pirate's Life DLC. So you get transported into it. So you're separate from all the other players. It drops you on an island where they literally use clips from the Disney World ride. Dead man tell no tales. You then get to go through the Disney World ride of the ghost doing everything. It then drops you on an actual island with a captain who's telling you to find a way to get him out of the cage. You then do a series of puzzles there with additional objectives and collectibles that we had so much fun looking for. You do all of this and you put together what happened on this island and why you're stuck on the dead man's island and stuff like that. To which the captain then tells you how to call in the ferryman ship and you get put on the ferryman ship by sneaking onto it. Like you have to row a boat up behind it, dock it, hide while he goes through a speech. It gets a little glitchy at that point because once he starts the speech, if you've been hiding the whole time, you can walk wherever you want and he doesn't comment you're there, but that's... You then go through this whole segment. He sails out. We're all fishing up like ghost fish and everything at this point, just like goofing off, doing. I got a thing called the crab dab where they go like we're just doing all kinds of crazy
Okay,
stuff.
I did hear it right. I wasn't sure if I heard it right.
Crab
dab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You then go sailing out, and they basically nothing's happening. You're sailing back to the real world, and they just kind of go, "Don't go below deck." So, of course, you're like, well, I'm going to go below deck. And you find Jack Sparrow down there with the dog, with the keys. You free Jack. Jack's got a weird mystical device. He brings you back up to the main deck where the ferryman and him argue over why he got free and everything. Davy Jones comes out of the water. You get into a cannonball fight with Davy Jones. Then the crab monsters start jumping on the ship and you're fighting them off while Cannonball on the other ship. The boss battle goes on both sides this whole time. We get to the ending and Jack Sparrow's like, all right, well, we got to go find the cube. And we're all in the chat like, what do you mean find the cube? And it goes, chapter 1 complete. And we're like, what? There's 5
that
chapters.
right there sounds like it would be just as long as what the story for the original 2 seasons would be.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean,
I heard that they were like 3-4 hours the first 2 seasons. This one, if the rest of them are this long, I'm estimating 8 to 12 hours, depending how much exploration we do in all these modes. You know what I mean? But
that's a decent amount. That's a decent amount of content to come out.
But on top of that, all of the Davy Jones monsters have now populated the real world. So like we're on a mission trying to do things, which by the way, now some of the skeletons require like different mechanics so you can kill them, light them up and things like that. So like we're invading a ghost ship because now there's a lot more ghost ships on the island than I remember. We jump on the ship, no one can hurt him, so I'm jumping on, doing a lantern in front of him while the other guy's shooting him with his gun. Like there's a lot of new mechanics introduced, and if they existed before, somehow we avoided them. But
what was the bad guy who became an ally from the first Pirates movie?
Barbados.
Barbados. Is he in any of this?
No, so far the only people we've seen is she's called the Mysterious Stranger, but she looks like the voodoo lady from the 3rd movie.
Okay.
And Jack Sparrow himself.
It just seems like that'd be kind of cool if he became like a faction leader for
4
the
more
rest of the
chapters.
guys.
Yeah, there's 4 more chapters, and like I said, they populated the world, and then a few other things popped up that we came across. We did the Reaper chests again, we did the gold chests again. We were starting to level up these different factions, and there was like a big red tornado, which apparently has 4 bosses that can randomly spawn in the world. You got to kill all of them to finally fight Flameheart. They're doing other events that are making you more friendly. You can all fly an emissary flag, and if you do things with other players and not hurt them, you get bonus points. So it's taken forever, but I feel like Sea of Thieves is at a spot where I really enjoy just hopping on and playing it. You know, and I've always done that, but it's always been a problem to find people who wanted to play Sea of Thieves because every time Shank, you and I would bring it up, and he'd be like, you want to go play Sea of Thieves? Well, what are we going to do? I don't know, gold chests? Like, what are we going to do? I don't know. I want to be a pirate. Let's just go do it.
What are we going to do?
Want to say R all the time.
Drink rum and find treasure.
Yeah, that's it. So it's incredible, this new DLC. Like, if you've never done Sea of Thieves, this is probably like the best time to get into it because there's so much to do now. At no point were we just sailing aimlessly, which it was a problem before. We'd get all the chests and go, okay, now what? Let's go find people and mess with them. Like,
well, I got it downloaded, finished up yesterday, so
I don't.
I know.
you don't
go
play
get
Sea
it.
of Thieves. You don't like Sea of Thieves.
I know. I don't.
Bummer.
You can
No
join
run
us
for
on
Huey.
Xbox.
I'll think about it.
He's going to join up after we beat the whole thing.
All right, you guys finished chapters 1 through 5? Sweet. Do it again for me. That way I don't have to solve the puzzles.
But yeah, light episode this week. I had an issue last week with the cat. Huey was out of town. Shank was out of town.
Yep.
I don't know where Dylan is. He ain't responding.
I got new games to play, though, this week. I just bought
Dylan?
Scarlet Nexus.
Where y'all be?
Well, I'm probably going to spend the next week just face tanking Halo.
I'm going to join
probably-
you. We're going to go through Legendary mode. And I've also got
Yes.
Scarlet Nexus. I'm just going to finish Ratchet and Clank first. So,
And then after that, I'll go to Ratchet and Clank.
no, you got to do it the other way around. Ratchet and Clank's fun.
No, you're doing Ratchet and Clank.
Fine. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this shorter podcast today. Just us BSing what the games are playing, like usual. If you're looking for news updates, that is our Friday podcast, PSG News. This week, I'll be our editor. It'll be interesting.
Good
Fancy.
luck.
Good luck. And if you want more story updates, discussions, and fun times like that, stick around because we'll be talking about PS Plus versus, or what's it, PS Now versus Xbox.
Now.
Yeah, PS Now versus Xbox Game Pass. And we're going to be discussing out why everyone assumes Xbox is paying everyone to say Game Pass is good. I find that weird. We'll discuss that. And of course, you get story updates and lists and theories right here at PSG. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here